Hello to my American Horror Story historians. My name is EJ and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be quite a different video for what we usually do. I'm still going to recap and review the American Horror Story Delicate series finale, well, season finale. Can we get to the series finale already? Anyways, but yes, we're going to talk about the finale as we normally do, but I'm also going to dive into the other finales of American Horror Story and see if I can answer the burning question a lot of us have this week. Is this the worst finale for American Horror Story ever? We'll get into that and more in this video. We are finally done with American Horror Story Delicate. The two-part season has wrapped up with this week's finale, the auteur, and I have to say, I thought the episode was fine. It's below average for sure. I think this whole season had this really weird vibe where I thought the pacing was okay until it was dramatically not okay. These last two episodes have rushed through everything. This was the meat of the story. The details that we were just dropping, like Siobhan is actually just Dex's mom, like these little moments that we were dropping could have been great moments to have throughout the season, but we decided to have an exposition dump final episode where we are just in one location and all of this is happening and we're just saying everything that we've needed to say. This is an industry where I get it. It's like show don't tell. So you decided to tell me everything instead of showing me this, instead of giving me moments to really put all these pieces together. I had no idea Siobhan was Dex's mom for real, and it wasn't like this was a twist in the last episode. You gave me no Easter eggs. You gave me no clues to figure this out. It felt like it was the last episode, and we're like, but what if we do a twist and it's actually this? And I'm like, oh. Okay, like it wasn't it wasn't out of nowhere. It didn't feel like it didn't fit the narrative that they were going for. It was just dumped on us in such a unpleasant way, in such a non-interesting way, and that's kind of what I feel now about the whole season. It was just meh. Like it started off so strong, and I've been very honestly, probably overly positive for this season and trying to like get us through. But now I'm just saying, what was the point? What was the reason? Like, oh, women can have it all. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, they can, but we knew this. Did I really need Delicate to tell me this? Did I really need the very heavy-handed metaphor of, like, the baby or the award? Like, oh my goodness. It's frustrating. This episode is truly, it could have been so much better. This whole season, this whole episode could have been a banger, but it's just meh, and it's not fair to the actresses. I mean, I think Kim K had a blasty blast. You can't gatekeep, or you can't gaslight a gaslighter. Lines, bars, like I was truly amazed with what Kim did. I thought Emma Roberts was fine. I liked this new coven that we met in the AHS world where we've had really witchy women, but this was a much darker, a much eviler witchy coven. That was all great. There is really key moments here that will make Delicate, to me, not the worst season we've ever had, but it just lacks that oomph. It lacks that extra magic to make this even above the middle of the seasons. I was truly going to put it in like my top 5 at one point. It was truly like there for me. But now this is like the bottom of the barrel. It's just a season that I would love to revisit, but then I'm like, what's the point? Like, we had a really slow first half with a really rushed second half. That's not how you tell stories. That is not how we should be doing this. My goodness. All right, this is my review section. Let's get into the recap. Let's get into the nitty gritty. And at the very end of the video, we are going to be discussing if this was the worst finale ever. And I don't know, your feelings, my feelings could shock you there. But let's get into the recap section. In what feels like was truly just 30 minutes of television for a season finale of American Horror Story, where have we gone? What is going on? But this episode went by fast. We were instantly thrust into, a slight backstory where we saw Siobhan and Anna meeting for the first time. Cute. Then we're thrust back to the backstage of the Oscars. I'm now thinking if a woman gave birth at the Oscars, if that would be like the biggest headline we've ever had at the Oscars. Like, it truly, like, oh, Emma Stone's at the Oscars, pregnant again, and now she's giving birth right after the show. My goodness, what a massive moment that would have been. But, you know, it's interesting to see the reality of what I live as a awards person, as a pop culture lover, and seeing what the show was doing. It conflicted at times, but at the same time, I was like, that would be a pretty interesting thing. But quickly, we are seeing Anna is being driven to a facility to give birth, not a hospital, because Ivy decides to kill the sexy bodyguard we've had the entire time. She kills Dex, and they lead her to a warehouse where she gives birth, and where we spend like the rest of the episode, where we spend, it was like, wow, production really had this one warehouse. They built up a couple fake walls so they can build the rooms, and that was it. And it felt lazy. Like in TV, it's called a bottle episode, where everything is stuck in one location, and it's usually a moment to kind of intensify our characters, get things going, and put everyone in a close quarters with each other. But now I'm like, this seems like a bottle episode because we were cheap in trying to get this filmed as quickly as possible. But yes, we are in the warehouse. All the witches are here, and she gives birth. Anna gives birth to the baby. The coven that we've met all the women, you know, the one lady who kept dying in the bathroom, Nicolette. One girl, I forgot her name again. You guys told me her name. Oh my god, I forgot her name again. Wow, put a bell around her neck. She makes no impression. Ivy's there, though Ivy does not last long because Siobhan kills her. Which, do you guys remember when they try to reveal in this episode that Siobhan was like the leader of the cult, and it was like a pan zoom in on her, like she's been the leader the whole time, and I'm like, okay, wow. The biggest revelation here was Dex's dad showing up and finding out that he has been procreating with Siobhan for who knows how long, trying to make these creature babies. And then we had Dex, who was a human baby, but was able to kind of. He felt like he was a good conduit. So Dex is Siobhan's son. He had a hookup with Anna, which also Anna, I think they used her eggs. Like, what? They used Siobhan's eggs in Anna, possibly? So this baby was not, and has nothing to do with Anna. It's like, I felt like she was the great conduit for it. I thought something was going to be powerful about her. And maybe we see at the end of the episode that she was really a good witch, not a bad witch, to quote Wizard of Oz. But yeah, so Siobhan ends up revealing all of this. All the witches are here. And then we start getting to the meat and potatoes of this episode. And it's truly just Kim Kardashian talking. And I don't know if that's how I would have ended my entire season. One of my favorite moments is when Kim K's Siobhan says, "Hello, my delicates, let's go." I kind of like that name for a group of witches. It was cute, especially being mothers, which are supposed to be, you know, women are delicate creatures, blah, blah, blah. I thought that was cute. I thought that made sense. But I love that they also kind of gave their mission statement. We're here to save the world. We're going to do a utopia where it is just, you know, male demons and then our male sex slaves and us, the women, running the world. And Anna's like, it can't be utopia if you have to murder everyone to get there. Like, that's not how you get peace, by killing everybody. I don't know if that applies to any real world statements, anything like that, but you cannot get peace by killing everybody. I don't know. And Anna calls them out for it. And I kind of appreciate Anna for truly never at one point being like, no, oh, maybe I will. No, she was like, y'all are some crazy ass witches. And she starts to want to connect with the baby. He's drinking blood from her. You can see his little claws. Could we not see the baby? Did I not get a face reveal of this? Anyways, the weirdest moment here is when Dex's ex-wife just shows up out of nowhere and starts giving her the white witch, the Avahestia that she can say, and she starts saying it and chanting it, and Siobhan just poofs away. What? What? That's all she needed to do was do a little spell, and then Kim K just poofs away. Like, it was such a downer, let down moment. And then I'm like, where are all the other witches? Like, what? The last like 5 minutes of this episode is where I really was just like, what? So yes, Anna gets to have the baby, have the Oscar, be the leader of this new delicate coven. Like, what? Where are we go? What? With my overall confusion, frustration with this episode, I don't want to improperly rank this. I'm not going to go through every American Horror Story finale because we know things like Murder House, we know Hotel, we know Freak Show all had really fulfilling finale episodes, the really good ways to close off these things. But there has been episodes in American Horror Story where I absolutely hated it. Red Tide, Death Valley, two of the worst finales, two of the worst seasons, but two of the worst finales I've ever seen. I don't like the finale of 84. I thought NYC's weird music video ending was not great. So where would I put Delicate's ending in comparison to a lot of those. Like I said, it's not going to be one of those top tier things. Like the first 5 seasons, Hotel, Freak Show, all that, like Asylum, those were good seasons. Coven's ending is great. These were really good endings of the show, and I really appreciate it. For me, one of my highest ranking ones is Apocalypse. I love the ending of that. I love the timeline refresh that we did, which seems to be why we have these lackluster seasons. But sure, I like that. So I would say Delicate is much like the regular season. It's on the like lower middle section. The first half of this finale I thought was okay. I was like, oh, we're getting the exposition dumps, fine. But then when we rushed the end of our big bad and just Ava Hestia Kim Kai's face away, what? But it doesn't anger me like 84's like non-ending or the weird, like I said, music video ending of NYC. Those were okay. Roanoke has a okay ending as well. So I would put it kind of below Roanoke's ending, which I don't really love Roanoke. That is my first time rewatching though, because I'm going to rewatch all of these seasons before I do my ranking for you guys, or I'll probably give you a proper finale ranking there as well. But I'm going to say this is the middle of the road ending. It's not the worst one we've ever had, but it's the most frustrating for me, because again, it signifies the problem with this overall season. The rushedness, the lack of planning, it felt like that's the biggest sins the season committed, and they were most showcased in this very rushed, very haphazard, like pushed together, pulled together finale that I'm like, okay, yeah, like, so again, it's not as atrocious as the Death Valley, Red Tide finales, which I think are truly the bottom of the barrel. Those are the worst finales ever, where I would say NYC is a little bit above them, and the worst finales, Roanoke, and, well, then, yeah, I'm going to put Delicate right under Roanoke and right above NYC in my little kind of half ranking that I'm doing right now. Because again, I don't think it's the worst ending ever. It falls with me enjoying the most part of this season, so I don't think it's the worst. I know some people are going to say this is the worst ending ever. If we had maybe an extra 15 minutes, I think this could have ranked a little bit above Roanoke, but again, not in those top tier seasons. It's confusing. Like, and the Colt's ending, that was an ending as well, which I would probably put... Oh, I have to really watch the end of Colt again. I don't want to watch Colt ever again. But yes, so that's kind of my overall thing. I think this is a middle-of-the-road finale and a middle-of-the-road season, but I wanted more. And I think that's my frustration. I almost want to rank it lower because I had higher expectations, bigger aspirations for the season, but that seemed to let me down. Overall, I want to know what you guys think, because I think the ending is okay, but you guys can feel it's a little bit better than that or much worse than that. Share your feelings. Alright everyone, that is it for my review of American Horror Story Delicate. We've wrapped up another season with AHS together. My historians, I love you guys so much. Please do not dip out on the channel because I am done with AHS. I will be doing rankings of AHS stuff. I might be rewatching seasons, and I do a bunch of other stuff on this channel that I would love you guys to stay around with and watch and see if you find new shows that I review, new movies, interviews that I do as well. I want you guys to join me for that. You can also find me on Flickering Myth somewhere up here, so you guys can watch my movie reviews. I have a podcast over there now, so make sure you guys tune into all that. Thank you guys for joining me, and let's talk about American Horror Story Delicate and all of our favorite